Welcome, everybody, back to the Metal Command show, and I'm here with Torsten Ihlenfeld of the band Brainstorm, one of the original members, and, of course, he does play guitar in the band, and Brainstorm, of course, being a band I have followed since the first record came out. Torsten, it's really nice to talk to you. I've never spoken to you before, but I am really excited to have this conversation. You have a new album out, Plague of Rats, which, again, is another great record in a streak of really good albums. And let's talk about the album and maybe the theme behind it. It's the songs, when I listen to it, seem to be a little bit related to each other. And maybe you could talk a bit about the album itself and give us some details on it.
Oh yes, for sure. First of all, thanks for having us. And Plague of Rats is it's not a concept album, so we're not a concept album band. But as when you write the songs for an album, of course, many stories may connect to each other because of recent happenings that happen in the world. So
sure.
We're not a concept album band, and one of the main topics is, as you can see on the cover, is like bringing back those Eastern harmonies and stories a little bit,
right.
which we very much focused on, for example, on the Soul Temptation album.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because this record again is. I think it's phenomenal. It's something weird. I remember when the other band that he was in, Symforce, kind of broke up. It seemed that the records got a little better. I don't know why that is. Maybe he was able to concentrate on the band a little bit more. But the songwriting on these last three, or probably the last four, are probably the four best records I think you've done. And just so you know, I followed the band when the first album came out, which was a long time ago, and something happened, with the songwriting on with this band, because I can tell you that, Midnight Ghost blew me out of the water, and it was not what I expected. And then obviously the next two records, including this one, I think are great. And, there's something change or, with the songwriting, because, the band was great. Manus Mortis was like a huge, underground cult classic type of record when that came out. That always seemed to be the album where people really ended up getting into you guys. But something in these last three records, man, I think is great. And has anything changed starting starting in 2018? Because I don't know, maybe it's me, but these last 3-4 records have been just amazing.
Yes, absolutely. It's we have absolutely the same opinion. It's not that too many things changed, but after the Scary Creatures album, we changed the producer. Since Midnight Ghost, we are working with Zeeb Leverman for the last 3 albums now: Midnight Ghost, Wall of Skulls, and Plague of Rats. And he's a phenomenal guy. And for us, it's something like the 6th band member. So he's so incredibly talented with everything that has to do with music, songwriting, melodies, and he's definitely one of the main reasons for the level up, so to say.
Okay.
Without having to lose our Brainstorm identity. So when we go into the studio, it's, let me say, 90% of the songs are as they are, but the 10% input that Steve gives us to the arrangements,
right?
His input is much more than 10%, But I'm relating to the songwriting stuff. It's exactly the level up I think we need, and the last 3 albums have been, or at least the last 2. Plague of Rats is still coming out February 28th.
Right.
But the last 2 have been one of the most successful albums in the band's career.
Hey everybody, Tony here from the Metal Command podcast. Again, I appreciate your support. Since 1998, I have hosted this show in one form or another, starting off in radio and now in the podcast format. Again, thanks for watching, and if you like what you see and hear on this show, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified anytime I do post a video, and if you see this program on any other form of social media, please give me a follow there. Again, I always appreciate your support.